I have not done this in forever. What's up? Hey ladies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Diana and I'm the creator of Money Boss Mama. And in this video, I just decided to kind of sit down and walk you guys through the changes that I've had to make to my budget due to inflation and the pandemic, and just give you some ways in which I'm personally like fist fighting against inflation, because it's like every time I turn around, something is increasing. And you guys know I'm a single mom. So if you are a single mom, I know that you have to go back to your budget. It seems like every payday to adjust something. And so hopefully you guys can pick up on a few tips that I will be walking through whenever I'm sharing my experience and apply it to your budgets. Okay, first things first, let's talk about gas. Girl, gas is like I want to say $4.29 now. It recently hit $4 and then I blinked and then it went to like $4.20. And what's crazy is that even though it's like jumping up, I feel like it's lasting less and less for me. Like, am I the only one feeling like my gas has water in it? I'm not changing my routes. I don't really go anywhere, but it feels like I'm just always filling up my gas tank. So it used to be $75 per paycheck. That could get me through 2 weeks. So $150 a month. Obviously that is not gonna cut it no more. So now I've had to increase it 2 times, and last pay period I increased it to $100. So I am now sitting at $200 a month. Do I anticipate this needing to be increased again? Yes, but right now when it comes to my budget and me adjusting it, because it used to be, I used to really didn't touch it that much because I'm salary and everything was just, you know, I had enough built in as a buffer to keep everything the same, but I'm having to adjust my budget left and right. So trial and error right now is my best friend. I'm gonna try out the $100 per paycheck, see how that works, and then if that does not work, then I will just increase it again. Next up is groceries. So if you are not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. But if you are, then you know that I've recently gone with HelloFresh. This is not sponsored, wish that it was, but I just decided to go with HelloFresh because I'm trying to force myself to eat at home and cook. I loathe cooking. I'm not the best cook. I despise being in the kitchen, and it made it really hard, and I feel like I hated it even more because I did not know what to cook. Me and my kids were tired of eating spaghetti because that's literally all I could think of, and that's all I got good at making. And so I just figured that if I had someone to give me all of the ingredients at the size and the quantity or whatever that I needed, and they plan out my meals for me, then that would help. And it has helped, but after those discounts, I'm probably at like $80 per week, and that's for 3 meals that they send me. And my kids don't really eat it that much, so normally I would have leftovers for the next day. But $80 is not gonna cut it. If you've been in the grocery store recently, then you know you can get like 10 things and you're walking out the grocery store paying over $100. And so I recently cut it down from 3 meals to 2 because I cannot afford to lose that $80 per week. And so now that gives me more wiggle room to buy groceries for breakfast, for lunch, and a little bit of snacking around here, because I do have my daughter now throughout the day, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But I just found that because HelloFresh took up a bulk of my grocery budget, that we really didn't have a lot to eat for lunch or to eat for breakfast. So my grocery budget is $180 per paycheck, $360 a month, but I am in the midst of increasing it. So right now I'm just working on tracking my expenses, seeing exactly, you know, how much I'm coming over my grocery budget, and by the average I will add that into my grocery budget. But I really feel like cutting down from 3 meals to 2 will really help. Okay, so for the third change, which is the biggest change for me, I decided not to do summer camp for my daughter this summer. So we missed early registration, totally my fault. And so they filled up. It was going to be $100 a week for her. And then I got the opportunity to enroll her in my son's daycare for their summer camp. But I decided to just keep her home because when I really looked at the numbers, I'm like, I could be saving over $400 a month if I just thugged it out and kept her home with me. Now she's 9. She's very clingy. I will say that I had to kick her out of the living room since I moved my desk to the living room, guys. So we're in a new environment just so I can film this video. But I figured, like, good thing is that I'm saving $400. Just the bad thing is that I'm slowly losing my sanity, and it's not even been a week yet. But it's just 2 months. You know, we gotta do what we gotta do to save this money, make sure that our money is looking good, we're hitting our goals. And so this is one of the biggest sacrifices that I feel like I have made. Now, having the $400 work back into my budget, that did allow me to make a fund for summer fun. And so I have $160 worked in for the month. So what is that? Like $80 per paycheck, just so my kids can go out and do whatever. That's separate from my personal budget, my personal funds budget. I wanted their own little funds. And so I worked that back into my budget that way. Really, after everything was said and done, I just had an extra $50 to add to my financial goals. So I put the extra $50 to my contribution for my Roth IRA. Kind of sad when you think about $400 and you really only have $50 to use towards your goals, but whatever. It's just the climate that we're in today. We're gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep pushing, and y'all pray for me. All right, I'm trying to think of like what else I adjusted. Oh yes, so my car repair sinking fund, let's talk about that for a minute. A lot of people on Instagram, you guys know that my car is old. She's over 200,000 miles. She's got a burnt rubber smell now, so now I'm a little nervous driving her. But my car repair sinking fund has literally saved me. It's a little over $2,000, I believe, right now. And I would contribute $65 per paycheck. I contributed $65 per paycheck to my car repair sinking fund. That's for maintenance too. So like for oil changes, eventually I would have enough saved up if I needed new tires. If something breaks down, that's why I'm not really tripping about it, because I have money set aside. Like, I've learned dealing with a paid off car, girl, your car is gonna start coughing. As soon as you get that title in your hands, your car is gonna start coughing. I don't care what anyone says. It's like they make these cars to last as long as most auto loans run. Like, as soon as your auto loan is done, homegirl's she's gonna get a cough. And so that was one thing I've really had to set up, but I recently decreased it to just $30 that's gonna be going in there. It's still important for me to like make sure I'm funding this sinking fund, but your girl has to get some wiggle room in her budget, especially when it comes to my goals, which I will talk about later on in the video. But that was one change that I made. And then the last change that I made was pretty vain. You guys know that I've been getting my eyelashes done, like my lash extensions, and it was every 3 weeks I would get a 3-week fill, and that would be about $95. But for this summer I had to let them go, so we are back to like skinless chicken lashes. I don't even, girl, you can't even see my lashes probably on here. But my thinking on that was like, yeah, it looks good, it's really nice to take care of myself, but I'm someone where like, if I've got financial goals, I've got things I've got to do, like this is gonna have to go. I got used to doing that during my debt-free journey, and so it was a no-brainer for me like to take that out of my budget. Still doing my personal training because I don't play about that, but yeah, the $95, it was not honoring me and my hard work. So maybe somewhere down the line, maybe at the end of the summer, I'll work that back into my budget. But just the way that everything's going right now, I don't know. Okay, so now let's talk about some ways in which I am fist fighting the constant rise of everything. Like, everything is going up with inflation, but salaries. So we're kind of like at a standstill when it comes to our pay. So everyone's really feeling the sting because our pay is the same, but everything else is increasing, and that makes it extremely hard to progress financially. So one thing I will say that I'm doing with my groceries is doing more of the grocery pickup. I like using the Walmart pickup because they don't have a fee for it like Kroger's does. But I find that whenever I'm at the grocery store, it's really easy to like see things that I need and things that I want, throw it into my cart, and then you don't know how much it is until you get to the checkout line. And like nobody wants to deal with putting, you know, shit back when people are behind you. And so I find with the grocery pickup, it's just a lot easier to stick to your budget and really reevaluate your purchases because it has the total out on the side. So as you're adding your items from your list, you can see what your total is. So if your total is looking like it's going over, you can easily remove things from your cart, readjust your grocery list. And it's a good way to stick to your grocery list too, because you're just going through and adding whatever it was on that list. Next thing is working to increase my income. Y'all, this is a big one. If you just have one source of income, girl, you are in danger because people are getting laid off left and right. People are also finding it difficult to find workers because we now realize our worth and like we can have more flexibility with our jobs, but your job is not secure. Your job is not safe. So I recommend that you monetize your skills. For me, my skill and my passion is this, like money boss mama. But for you, it may look like, you know, writing, doing hair, whatever it is that you have that you're really good at that you can monetize. I recommend Googling to see some ways in which you can monetize this skill and get on it. Like no more sitting on that. I recommend you get on it now because to beat the cost of inflation and our pays being like stagnant, you have to increase your income. I know, sis, like you're tired. I'm tired, especially if you are a single mom, but there's really no way around it right now. Next thing I'm doing to fight against the rising costs is to control my emotional spending. So I'm an emotional spender, especially when it comes to food. Like if I'm sad, I want to go out and eat. When I'm happy, I want to go out and eat. It's a beautiful sunshiny day and literally all I can think about is going out and eating at some restaurant downtown. But I know like if I don't have control over my emotions, then my emotions have control of my money. And a lot of us have a lot more money than we give ourselves credit for. It's just that the money is not coming to us and going towards areas of our lives that are actually moving the needle. It's going to other people. So I had someone the other day message me on Instagram that she found that she was spending $700 on Starbucks, which sounds crazy, but I work with a lot of women who are spending thousands on things. And when you're really just going and spending $7 here and there, it doesn't seem like a lot. But if you're out of control and you're impulsive, it's gonna add up, sis. And so one thing I've really been working on is finding an outlet just so I don't get overwhelmed and then wanna go out and buy something. And last thing that I am doing to beat the rising costs is just adjusting my expectations. Like, y'all, this is a big one. There's really no way around it. I feel like with 2020, a lot of us were just trying to get out of 2020. Then when we got out of 2020, we were expecting it to be better. But in my opinion, I feel like shit has probably gotten a bit worse because things just shot up. Like, things shot up. People were losing their income. Now people's pay is stagnant. What worked 2-3 years ago with their income is not working now, and you really have to go back and adjust your expectations. I had goals for this year, and to be honest, I'm still kind of tracking them, but I'm not really tracking them because my main focus is just making sure that I'm maintaining what I have accomplished right now. I'm maintaining my household. I'm maintaining my kids' expenses and my expenses, and just trying to keep my head above water. Do not overwhelm yourself trying to be, you know, the best person out there trying to pay off debt faster and save money the fastest. Do not overwhelm yourself. Really adjust your expectations to just right now survival mode. Yes, we would all like to thrive, but it's really important to just make sure that you maintain what you've accomplished right now. And so that is what I am doing. I am not truly going hard with my Roth IRA because I wanted to max it out this year. I'm not truly going hard when it comes to funding my kids' custodial accounts. I am just trying to make sure that I'm keeping up with the rising costs and trying to increase my income as well. And I'm just riding it out. Just ride the waves, sis. Go with the flow. Don't fight against the current. Don't fight with the rocks. Just make sure that you are doing what you need to do to maintain, take care of yourself, take a deep breath. It will all work out. Life goes in seasons through ebbs and flows, and this is just one of the rocky ones right now. But happy to be back on YouTube. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. Also, do not leave without telling me in the comments what is stressing you out the most about inflation and this whole pandemic, and how you have adjusted your budget to match with the current times. And I will catch you guys in the next video.